Hi everyone, it's such a joy to be back, and particularly because I have such a wonderful set of visions to share with you from yesterday. And I woke up in the morning with such a joy in my heart for the message that the Lord shared with me. Now, I am showing you this wonderful image that represents the different nations of the earth because this is the main theme of the particular visions that he gave me, that the Lord gave me. So it just demonstrates it really well. But I need to share with you a slightly unusual vision that I received first up. Well, actually, it was second, to be honest, because the first thing I saw was a wheat head. Um, and then I saw a vision of some white paper. I saw some white paper and I was aware, or I knew, I had a knowing that there was the hand of God above the paper and that something was being shaken. So, brothers and sisters, I'm assuming it was the wheat head, but I'm not sure. And as it was shaken, specks of dirt and dust landed on the white paper. And, brothers and sisters, I feel that this represents the Lord shaking the dust and dirt from his people. He wants us to be rid of all the soil in our lives. And so I'm just going to share a wee verse with you because much of what I'm to share with you today is about being a soldier in the Lord's army. And the first scriptures I want to read is from 2 Timothy, starting at verse 3, and it reads, "You therefore must endure hardship as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. No one engaged in warfare entangles himself with the affairs of this life, that he might please him who enlisted him as a soldier." So, brothers and sisters, we are soldiers of the Lord, and one day we will fight battles for him. Well, we already do, don't we? He gives us battles in this life, and we do warfare for him. But as it says in verse 4, we mustn't entangle ourselves with the affairs of this life. And so, brothers and sisters, I felt this went really well with the Lord shaking away those things in our lives that don't belong, the soil of this life. So let's just read those verses one more time. "You therefore must endure hardship as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. No one engaged in warfare entangles himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who enlisted him as a soldier." Now, this is where it gets enthralling. Just before I awoke on that morning yesterday, I had this beautiful vision. It was a running vision and it just kept going before my eyes. And the amazing thing is that the Lord often gives me visions just before I wake up. It's almost as if he knows exactly, well, I'm sure he does, he knows exactly how to time it, because no sooner than this running vision stopped, my alarm went off and I woke up. And I believe he does this so that I remember what I've seen and write it down instantly. So, brothers and sisters, what I saw was a beautiful array of arrows. And the feathers in the arrows were the most amazing colours. Just similar to what you see here, but not the modern day arrows. They were more traditional, but the feathers were beautiful. I then saw a beautiful quiver. Now the quiver is the holder for the arrows that the archer wears on his back. So it was, sorry, did I say wooden? It was a beautiful quiver. I'm guessing it was sort of a wooden colour, but it was probably leather. So I saw a beautiful traditional quiver that the arrows went in. Now, the next part of what I saw is really hard for me to describe to you because it was both amazing and beautiful, but also very different. So I can't find an image anything like it. But as you can see with this laminated wood design, what I saw, it was almost as if the arrows changed. And they became wider and they were made of wood. Um, I think it was the ends of the arrows, where the feathers are. Instead of the feathers, I then saw these beautiful shades of wood that were laminated, lots of different woods used to create each individual feather top of the arrow. Oh, I'm really making it hard for you to understand. But the tops of each arrow now represented the different cultures of the world. And the way I knew this was each beautiful tip to the arrow had cultural designs on them. And each design represented a different culture. Just to give you an idea, you can see the tops of these arrows have an almost wooden look, don't they? And those different colours that you can see there. What I saw was wooden, and they were etched with poker, a hot poker into the wood to make the designs. Just let me show you what I mean. So this is poker work onto wood of a Maori design, so the culture of the Maori people. And then there are many other designs, of course, for each culture of each nationality in the world. So I'm just going to flick through a couple. This is a leaf that is a Polynesian design, so that's the South Pacific Islands. And these designs are Aboriginal work from Australia. And these designs are from China. I know it's really difficult to explain what I saw, brothers and sisters. It was so beautiful, but so difficult to explain. But as I said, I had a knowing that each arrow represented peoples from the different nationalities of the world. And the other beautiful thing I saw was the hand of God picking out the arrows from a wooden rack. Now, this rack was gently rotated by his hand, and he grasped each arrow tenderly and placed it in the quiver. So, of course, I didn't see his body and I didn't see his face, but I saw the hand of the Lord lovingly pick each arrow from the rack and place it in his quiver. And brothers and sisters, I knew immediately what scriptures he was taking me to. The first scriptures that I immediately thought of were in Psalm 127, starting at verse 3, and it says, "Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is his reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but shall speak with their enemies in the gate." Now that was the King James Version, but I also want to read the Good News Version. So this is Psalm 127 in the Good News Version, starting at verse 3 at the top left of the page. "Children are a gift from the Lord. They are a real blessing. The sons a man has when he is young are like arrows in a soldier's hand. Happy is the man who has many such arrows. He will never be defeated when he meets his enemies in the place of judgment." Now, brothers and sisters, I thought that was interesting that it says in the place of judgment, when he meets his enemies in the place of judgment, because that is what is going to come in the end. there will be judgment upon the world, and the Lord will bring his army to fight Satan. So, brothers and sisters, I just felt that in this particular vision, the Lord was showing me the children he is choosing to put in his quiver, the soldiers of his army. They are the soldiers in the Lord's hand. He was choosing them lovingly and putting them in his quiver. In Isaiah chapter 49 verse 2 it says, "And he has made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand he has hidden me. He made me a polished shaft. In his quiver he has hidden me." In his quiver he has hidden me. We are hidden in his quiver, brothers and sisters. Isn't that a most beautiful thing? The Lord has chosen you. You are a polished shaft, and he has hidden you in his quiver. And everyone, just to finish with, the final few visions were interesting in that I was shown soldiers in a graveyard, and I saw crosses on a hill, and I think I saw these crosses rotating. Now I'm not sure what that's about, why they were moving, but anyway, brothers and sisters, I also then was shown a picture of the 3 crosses of the crucifixion. The cross in the middle was the cross of Jesus, and the reason I knew this was because I saw plaques on the cross, which I believe would have been the plaque that they popped on the cross that said, I think it said something like, "Behold the King of the Jews." And then there were the 2 crosses, one each side, for the 2 criminals that were crucified at the same time. Now, it was interesting that after I saw the 3 crosses of the crucifixion, I was then shown camouflage material on soldiers again. So the whole theme was on the Lord choosing soldiers for his army, I believe. And just as Christ died for us, he gave his life for us. The soldiers that have fought in all the wars around the world, they too have given their lives freely for others. So, and I'm not 100% sure the full meaning of those last few visions, everyone, but some of you may have an interpretation for that. But anyway, sorry, brothers and sisters, I've just realised that the last few visions that I'm telling you about with the crosses were actually from this morning, because yesterday the visions about the arrows were given to me just before I woke up, and I woke up straight away, as I explained before. These last visions I've been talking about with the crosses on the hill and the crosses of the crucifixion were given to me last night. And that was after I was praying for more understanding about the arrows and the quivers. So I believe these all go together. That is why I'm sharing it with you now. I hope I haven't confused you. But brothers and sisters, I won't go on now. I think it's long enough, this video. I hope you find this a blessing, and if any of you have further interpretations, please share it with us all. I am only a novice with interpretation. I do my best. But anyway, praise God, what amazing things I've been given to share with you. Bye for now.